This is a speech, a demonstrative speech on how to conduct a proper interview. Let's picture you're one of Omaha's finest police officers, and you're also working in the Special Victims Unit as a detective.
That's it?
Who has a suspect who you need to interview, who maybe could have been sexually assaulting one of his grandchildren for the last 3 years. It takes everything inside of a person, especially a detective, to not jump across the table and try to strangle that person. I will show you how to properly interview this monster and try to get him to admit to the crime he has committed. First off, most police officers are pretty gung-ho and they like to make arrests. A lot of that happens on the street. It's a different animal once you come into the detective bureau and you have to sit across the table and try to mentally beat someone who has committed such a heinous crime. All right. First off, I would like to demonstrate how, being a proper detective, you don't lose your cool. You need to be reserved. You need to actually have 3 points, 3 main approaches to interviewing somebody, especially suspects. And these 3 points are: build a rapport. You need to build a rapport with the suspect while you're sitting there. And also gain trust. Act like you actually care for that person. And the 3rd point would be to minimize the crime. So you want to make sure that they think that this is something that happens on a daily basis, which it doesn't. Okay. Arresting bad guys is a part of the job as a cop, but not all cops can make an arrest admit to committing a crime. It takes a lot of practice to mentally get someone to admit that they committed a crime. So, first off, it's a mental game. Once you get the suspect to meet you, come downtown, you make it real impersonal. You say, hey, come downtown, I need to talk to you about a case that I'm working. And they're like, what is it about? I can't talk to you over the phone, I don't know who this is. I would like to talk to you face to face to make sure that I'm talking to the proper person. So, once they do come down and you say, hey, your name came up in an investigation, I would like to talk to you about it. You're not the first or the last person I have to interview on this. So that way they think that they're just part of a process. Okay, so once you get them in the interview room, you start small talking them. Like, okay, how's your day today? How you been doing? That's the part of building a rapport. You start talking to them about what are you interested in? Hey, what do you do in your spare time while you're filling out paperwork? Or just make it real conversational and find out things that they really like. Something they enjoy doing. Something that really means something to them. Or something that you can tell that they're really passionate about. So once you do that, so it might be sports, or you can look at their build and like, hey, you play football. You look like you play football. You're pretty, stout, or something to that effect. Or yeah, you play basketball. You're pretty tall. Anything that can relate to something that you both have in common. They say, yeah, I play baseball. Oh wow, baseball. I played baseball since I was a kid, man. What position do you play? And you just build something like that. After a while, this guy's saying, oh, he's a regular guy. He's not a cop that's trying to put me in jail for sexually assaulting a 9-year-old. He's trying to get me. He's trying to get to know me. He's actually doing a good job of understanding my feelings as a suspect. That's how you want them to feel while they're sitting there and they're thinking that everything's going to be fine. Okay? Then you keep on moving. Then you try, while this process is going on, you want to look at them and make sure that you can see their body language. So you sit, maybe put the suspect here and you sit here,